If you want to laugh and have some fun, this is the podcast. This is the one. Lights, camera, action on your marker, set, go. Welcome everyone to the Suezie Show. Welcome everyone to the Suezie Show. Welcome everyone to the Suezie Show. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about bikers of all kinds. From motorcycles to dirt bikes to quads, anything considered not a vehicle, I guess, right? Like, yeah, anything that's like not a vehicle, not a car, bikers, basically. Now, where I grew up, there was a spot called the Mud Flats. Like mud, like dirt and water makes mud, and flat. Like some people think the world is flat. Just so you understand the word I'm saying, Mud Flats. And people from all different towns all over the place used to go there every single day and ride their dirt bikes, their quads. It was a huge piece of land that all the people that went there made tracks and ramps and all sorts of stuff. It was the super coolest track, man, homemade through nature, and the locals just made it so cool. Didn't tear anything up. Nothing was chopped down or destroyed. They just kind of worked around nature and made a super cool track for everybody to go and hang out and ride. Unfortunately, the Mud Flats no longer exists. Now it is a Super Walmart and a Lowe's. I mean, you could imagine that's a pretty darn big parking lot. Imagine the size of the track that everybody had to use. And nobody disrespected the place. Nobody threw garbage or trashed the place or anything else. They kept it pretty pristine. And it was awesome because nobody cared about what town you came from. Even though there were like towns that didn't like each other. Oh, you're from this town? I automatically don't like you. Oh, you're from that town? I automatically don't like you. Which to me is ludicrous. But anyway, nobody cared where you were from. Nobody cared what color your skin was or anything like that. All anybody cared about was what you were riding. Did you hit that jump? How you doing today? And what's up? What's good? That's it. It was just like a big family that everybody hung out, and it was awesome. It really was a great time. I'm so grateful that I got to be around when the Mud Flats were still up and running, so to speak. Now, all the people that pretty much would have been at the Mud Flats, working on their craft, having a good time, riding their bikes, their quads, their trikes, whatever, dirt bikes, whatever. Now, where I live, they have nowhere to go. So now you see them everywhere on the streets. You'll see a little group of dirt bikers on the road, quads. Sometimes you'll have a huge group of them where they literally block off traffic at stoplights. And they'll just keep riding by. There'll be like 100 of them. It's insane how many of them there are. And people get upset about the people riding their dirt bikes and all that stuff on the roads. And I get it. I understand. I get where they're coming from. It's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And I shouldn't say blah, blah, blah because it is a valid point. It's dangerous to us, to them. I get it. I understand that. And I do respect that point of view. I do. I understand that. However, they have nowhere else to go. And if the worst thing they're doing is driving their dirt bike on the road, I'd say we're doing pretty good because these kids could be doing a lot worse out there than riding a dirt bike or popping a wheelie. I mean, dangerous, yeah, not legal. Okay, I get it. I understand. But they could be doing a lot worse. And they have nowhere else to go anymore. The Mud Flats is gone. It's been flattened, turned into corporate America. So there goes another cool little spot of nature that people utilized and respected. That's gone. And now all the people that would have been going to the Mud Flats is basically stuck riding in the streets. Because guess what? Not everybody has the money to get a trailer to put their dirt bikes or whatever on the back of a trailer to drive out somewhere that does have tracks or whatever it would be called. Or they might not even have a car. That might be their only transportation that they could even get around at all, is something like that. Most of these people probably don't have the money to go get a trailer to drive their dirt bike or whatever they're riding all the way out. Who knows, half hour, 45-minute drive. Now you got to spend money on gas. You got to spend money on the trailer. You got to register the trailer, all that good stuff, just so you could ride. Now, let's keep it real. If you were a teenager, or if you are a teenager, whatever, if you're a kid and you had a dirt bike or something like that,
And the only way you could ride the thing is if you start it up and kind of cruise around the neighborhood a little bit. You're not a mature adult that's like, that's illegal, I better not do that. Not that young kids aren't mature and don't have their head on right, because a lot of them do. But me? Sorry, I wasn't mature and I probably didn't have my head screwed on too tight. It's still not screwed on too tight. You think what? I would sit around and let my dirt bike get dusty because there's no tracks for me to go on? Trust that my ass would be starting my dirt bike, riding on the streets, pissing off all the Karens. I'll say it. Although, they shouldn't be out here. Bitch, just drive your car. Worry about you. I'm sorry. I know that's politically incorrect, but I can't keep playing both sides of the fence here where, I understand. I do. It could be dangerous. I'm going to say my point of view. They're talented as fuck. You don't even understand. You got kids, they're people, they're young adults, and they're adults too, that will pop a wheelie and balance both feet on the seat of the motorcycle, like nothing. That will do a wheelie with no hands, like fa la la, no big deal. I mean, the tricks and the talent that is right out here is insane. I gotta say it. I can't wait. Someday I would love to have enough money to start my own team out here, follow these little groups of people that are riding, and watch who's doing what, and hand pick these people and be like, you, and you. Would you like to be on a team? And then just dominate at the X Games. Dominate! You might say, they're not going to dominate. They're not trained. Oh, bullshit, sweetheart. Let me explain something to you. If you have your own bougie little track where you could practice all your little tricks and all the thing, good on you. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. However, these people do not have that. They're riding on the streets with the adrenaline that they have to control because they're constantly looking over their shoulder for cops. And they better act quick and level-headed if a cop is out. And it is illegal for cops to chase them at all. They're not supposed to chase dirt bikes, quads, anything like that. They are not supposed to chase them. But I have personally seen cops chasing them. And I tell you, my blood went through the roof. That cop is going to make that person... Not everybody can handle being chased by a cop when you know you could get in a lot of trouble if you get caught. So some people are going to act accordingly. They're going to drive like a maniac trying to get away. They might blow a red light just because they're scared. What is that? The adrenaline? Yeah, the adrenaline would go so high through your roof. I mean, think about it. Most of us have been pulled over before, and usually we're in a vehicle. Think about how nervous you get when you didn't even do anything wrong and you're legal. You got your license, your registration, you're legal. You're good. But think about how nervous you get when you get pulled over. You're sitting there going, shit. Worried about what am I going to get a ticket for? What's this about? Your brain goes crazy and the cop hasn't even walked up to the car yet. Imagine doing something on a dirt bike where you know you're doing something illegal. You're not registered. You're not insured. He's not supposed to chase you, but he is. Now you're really scared. Like, I couldn't imagine the adrenaline that goes through their body when a cop starts chasing them. So, yeah, X Games, I think my team would completely dominate. Like, dominate. Insanely dominate. Just want to put it out there. Someday I do plan on handpicking these people right around me that are on the streets that got insane talent, just natural talent, and make their friggin' dreams come true. And you could do what you love. That's what I want to provide. Make other people's dreams come true. That's what's up. Now I want to dive into the actual motorcycles that are on the roads. The riders, the cars, everybody that's on the road with the bikers. I'm going to start out with just a quick side note here. If you mow your lawn, could you please keep your lawn clippings on your own property? Do not blow your lawn clippings in the street. First of all, it's illegal. It's illegal because it's dangerous. It's literally deadly to any biker out there. That is like putting ice on the road. If you've never drove a bike or ridden a bike before, then you won't understand it. But please trust me, grass clippings is deadly on the road. Not only is it deadly, which is the first and foremost point I'm trying to make, but it is disrespectful to your neighbors as well. And that those grass clippings clog up all your sewers, all the gutters that you got all over the streets. Where do you think that grass clippings go? They just disappear? The grass fairy fucking comes along and waves her magic wand and poof, your grass clippings have now disappeared? Nah, jackass. They wind up filling up at the top part of a gutter and now your road is flooded. Not only is your road flooded, but if you live somewhere where you have cellars, people's cellars could get flooded. They're more likely to get flooded because you're flooding the roads, which could be not too far from somebody's home. Whatever. It's just, dude, keep your grass clippings on your own property. Don't be a grass hole. That was a good one. I like that. Don't be a grass hole. I mean, don't be a grass hole. Keep your freaking grass on your own property. Your neighbors don't want that on the street. And the bikers really probably want to just enjoy the day and enjoy their drive. They probably don't want to friggin' dump their bike in the street because your ass didn't want to do something correctly. Other than the grass clippings that people really should not be putting in the road because it is beyond dangerous and disrespectful and illegal. I said my piece with that. If you are driving in a car, do me a favor and everybody else a favor and every biker's family member and loved ones and friends a favor. Could you look twice? Look twice. Meaning when you're at a stop sign, not at a stop light because it's a light, but you should still look twice anyway, but stop signs. Actually look twice. The first time you look, believe it or not, our brains are so used to looking for a vehicle. When you look real quick to the left, look real quick to the right, your brain says, okay, no cars, you're good. If you look again, you might see, oh my God, there was a motorcycle coming. I didn't even see that. You don't mean to not see it. You're looking, but I'm telling you, look twice. Because where I live in New England. And obviously winter, you're not going to see any bikers out on the road. So it's more of a seasonal thing up here. So it's not year round that you're always seeing motorcycles and bikes all year, where it's somewhere like Florida or Georgia or somewhere like that. They pretty much get bikes year round. So they're probably more accustomed to looking for them and seeing them on the road all year. So maybe their brains might be more used to spotting them. Maybe not. I could be wrong. In New England, it is very seasonal to be able to ride your motorcycle because of the winter and the crappy weather that we do get up here. So when spring comes, gonna be honest, some of you might not like this, but I'm honest, so deal with it. Some of these people up here drive like their balls are on fire. Like they haven't been on their bike in 20 years. And I get it. They're excited. They get to ride their bike again. The weather's breaking. I can't wait to take my bike out. I understand. That is awesome to be excited about it and looking forward to it and be like, hell yeah, I got my bike out all clean, ready to go. Beautiful day. Let's go. Spring is here. I understand. However, a lot of these bikers drive like jackasses. Okay? They really, really drive like jackasses, blowing through lights when it was red for 40 seconds. You know, that light, it wasn't yellow, turning red. It was red. Driving in between cars, between lanes, on the highways, going 110, 120, who knows how fast. Like, they literally drive like speed demons that are on crack. Whenever I see that, I just shake my head like, oh my God. And I hope that whoever's riding that bike, I hope they get wherever they're getting safely. I really do. I don't think in my head, oh, what an asshole. Because I would tell you. I don't think that. I really don't. All these cars, you know how many people drive like assholes? You know how many people drive like a jackass. There's no way in hell I would drive like a maniac on a motorcycle around here. I don't even like driving in my car around here because people can't drive. And I got a car. I'm way more protected than a friggin' motorcycle. It's the cars that don't really look out for motorcyclists. They're not looking for them. They're not checking twice. It takes a millisecond to turn your head one more time and look again before you go. A literal millisecond. and you could be safe. And I mean, for all you know, if you see a motorcycle coming, it could be a jackass that's flying and doesn't plan on stopping at that stop sign. So it's a good thing you look twice. That's happened to me, where I looked twice and I saw a motorcycle coming and I could hear him, wah! I was like, there's no way this guy's stopping at that stop sign. So I waited. And sure as shit, he flew right through the stop sign, and I'm glad I sat there and waited. Even though he wasn't even at the stop sign, he was way behind the stop sign. I was already it was a 4-way stop, and I was already sitting there. Legally, I could have went. I was already there. He wasn't even at the intersection yet, but I knew better. I saw how fast he was going. There's no way he's stopping at that stop sign. So I waited, and I'm glad I did. I don't want to hurt anybody on the road, and I sure as hell don't want to get hurt either. But there's also the people that drive motorcycles that have been riding for years. They know what to expect. They know what to look out for. They know what intersections where they got to watch out because people do this or that over here or over there. This is where people cut people off. You get a feel for the road. So people who are experienced riders, you could tell because they ride their bikes like they care. They give a shit about their bike. You could tell they're riding nice. I'm not talking about 20 miles an hour in a 40 mile an hour zone, but I'm also not talking about driving like your balls are on fire and you need to drive as fast as you can to dye your balls out. People who drive like they respect the road, they respect their bike, and they respect themselves, and they're just out for the joy of riding. They're going to be safe, enjoy themselves, have a good time, and they know to look out for other cars because a lot of people that are driving in cars, hate to say it, but lots of idiots out there that don't look, and guess what? That don't even care either. I'm saying there are people that don't give a rat's ass if you're on your bike or not. There's some people that don't give a shit. Let's keep it real. There's people that do not give a shit. Here's some advice for you. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Just in case you're a maniac and you like to go out and blow steam off and get a little crazy with your friends, just hear me out. You ever find yourself on a dirt bike or a quad or a motorcycle or something that you know you were just doing something stupid just now, and now you got a cop on your ass? Do not run. Do not run. Hide. You heard that? Do not run from the cops. You might think, oh, well, I could outrun him in 2 seconds. Watch this. Merg, merg, merg. Yeah, no. That cop behind you has a radio, and he has boys on the other end of his radio that he could just press a button and say, yeah, he's coming up on you. You could have a cop 3 miles ahead of you that his boy, but that's behind you, just let his boy that's ahead of you know, here he comes, you can hear him coming. Boom, you're caught. And if you're going so fast, you don't know what could happen. You can get into an accident. Your best bet, I'm telling you now, get to where he cannot see you. Turn off a street, do whatever. Get away from him if you can. And I'm not saying drive crazy, dangerous, fast, or nothing, but if he's far enough away from you that you know your area and you could pull off to a side street and another side street and hide, I'm telling you now, get away from the cop carefully and turn your motorcycle off and hide. Do not run, hide. I'm just trying to look out in a weird criminal-like way. If you're doing stupid stuff, don't run, because that's how you can get yourself killed, literally. I mean, I can't stop people from doing crazy stunts and all this other stuff. I can't stop you from doing what you're gonna do, but I could try to give you a little bit of advice. If you're gonna be crazy out there and you get a cop on your rear end, do not run. Don't do it, because in your brain you're thinking, oh, I'm getting away from him. He has a radio, dumbass. He can call his boy. And you're driving up towards his boy right now. I mean, really. So that's what I got to say about that. Don't run, hide. Mad talent all over up here on the streets. I look forward to putting together a team to dominate X Games. And that's about it. Thanks for listening to the Suezie Show. Stay safe out there. Have a beautiful day. And I will see you next time on the Suezie Show. Yeah.
Thanks for listening and hanging out. I'll see you next time, without a doubt. Now you know where I am and you know where to go. See you next time on the Suezie Show. See you next time on the Suezie Show.